everybody. Happy Thursday. Today I want to talk about something real quick that a client of mine brought up last night before she was leaving. And she was talking about how her left arm was actually a lot stronger than her right arm. And she's like, I'm right-handed. I don't understand why. And she just was like, you can see my bicep on this side, but you can't see it on this side. And so we kind of brainstormed a little bit about why that could be. And then she suddenly was like, oh, I carry water buckets on that side. I always carry water buckets with my left arm because she broke her right arm a while back, and it feels awkward to carry water buckets with that arm. So she always carries them with her left. And I was like, well, there you go. Because I was saying, like, maybe it's the way you muck stalls, maybe it's the way, you do this or that around the barn. And she was like, oh, I always carry water buckets. And she carries water buckets every day, multiple times a day. And so, yeah, of course, that's what's gonna happen. Now, I had already programmed a dumbbell workout for her because she's actually going to be working out from home for a while. So we're doing sort of a hybrid routine. So she came in for one session last night, and then I programmed for her. I knew what she had access to. I knew that she only had access to some adjustable dumbbells. So that's what I programmed for. And so fortunately, because she was like, what can I do about it? And I was like, well, fortunately, for one, we've already programmed for dumbbells. And so that's one thing. Like, if you have an asymmetry like that, work out do unilateral exercises. This can work for legs, this can work for arms. And dumbbells are obviously a great way to do that, because if you're working out with the barbell and one arm is a lot stronger than the other one, that arm is still going to work harder than the weaker arm. So you're going to keep that imbalance is gonna remain, or it's going to get worse as you work with the barbell more. Whereas if you work with the dumbbell, it'll get better because your arms are working independently of each other, or your legs, if you have a leg imbalance or asymmetry. So I told her, so that was a fortunate thing already. And then I made sure to tell her before she left, I said, always start with the weaker arm. Let the weaker arm dictate what you're gonna do with the stronger arm, and then that will help to balance things out. Because if you always start with the stronger arm and then the weaker arm you can't do as many with, that's not gonna help you fix that asymmetry. Always start with the weaker side, and then match that with the stronger side. So if you can only do 8 curls, say, with the weaker side, only do 8 curls with the stronger side, and eventually they'll start to get a little bit closer. So I'm gonna definitely keep her on a barbell or in a dumbbell routine for a while because of this asymmetry. I'm not gonna, even if she comes back and works, and even if she comes back and starts working with me 2 to 3 days in the gym here again, I'm going to focus on just doing dumbbell. And also, if we ever get those cable weights put together, they've been sitting in the corner kind of in a jumble, and half of it's still outside. Cable weights are a good thing. You can work each side independently with those as well. So that's what I'm going to keep doing with her for a while to try to even that out. And she also, she notices it in her biceps, but I'm sure she has asymmetries in other areas of her body as well because of, the barn work that she does. And barn work, while it's really good physically to do, like, manual labor is really good exercise, it's also really good at building asymmetries because you tend to do things the same way all the time. Like, I tend to always pick stalls with this hand on the bottom, my right hand on the top, and that's how I pick stalls. And I try to do it the other way around, and I'm like, I I'm gonna, you know, I'll say, you know, I'm gonna practice doing it the other way around, and I do it like 2 days and I give up because it's too hard. And when you're trying to get barn chores done, you just want to do it as efficiently as possible, and as efficient as possible is basically the same way every time, and you're going to build those asymmetries. And I know I have them as well. I know that, like, especially when I'm in the saddle, I notice it, and it probably comes from picking stalls this way. I have a harder time turning in this direction. I have a harder time rotating. My spine rotates a lot easier in this direction than it does in this direction. I can go a lot further in that direction. And so this crops up in my riding where I can't turn in this direction as easily without my hips kind of going out, and then my horse falls out in that direction, and it's something I have to work on. So this is just one of those things, you know, especially if you work on a farm, those asymmetries are going to be there, and the best way to combat that is to work each side independently of each other. Doing unilateral work is the best way to combat that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for Farm Friday.